So first things first, before this video starts, I just want to give a huge shout out to Trey MB. Definitely subscribe to him on YouTube and follow him on Twitter. Without his clips, without his edits in the background of this video, I wouldn't really have too much to show you guys, so you would have just basically heard me talking. So a huge shout out to him. That's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. So as a Redskins fan that was born in the year 2000, this is uncharted territory for me. With the reactions, the positivity, the optimism that this fan base has reached, I mean, this is levels that I haven't seen since RG3's rookie season while we were up 14-0 in a home playoff game against the Seattle Seahawks. So as I said previously, I was born in 2000, I'm 18 years old. Last time we won a playoff game was in 2005. That was a year before I even picked up a football, and definitely before I even understood what was happening in the NFL, let alone what my team was, what those players were, what those teams were doing, anything of that sort. So you can obviously see where I'm going with this, man. I've never had the opportunity to see my team succeed. I've never seen a playoff win. I've never went into a season think I would win more than 9 games. Outside of RG3 season, I've never even had the feeling of knowing who my quarterback was for the future. In all honesty, I have to say, I genuinely feel like a lot of that changed in the 2019 NFL draft. Now, I'm sorry if I went on too long about everything, but for you to really understand the way I feel today and my thought process and why I'm so optimistic about every single pick, you have to understand the pain missing of success that I felt throughout my entire lifetime. I've never seen the Redskins do good. Genuinely. Today I'll be breaking down every single pick that the Redskins made, and I'm going to give you my opinion. So first things first, obviously starting off with our new franchise quarterback, Dwayne Haskins. There is a reason I talked about RG3 in the beginning of the video so much. We finally got our quarterback position right, and we did it twice in the same offseason. So personally, I'm someone that believes in Case Keenum. No, I do not think he's a franchise quarterback, and I will not try to sit here and influence you or try to tell you that. What I will say, he for damn sure is a solid bridge quarterback. He can start for a year and keep things good. You know, this is the type of quarterback that you give the keys to your team for one season and you tell him, hey, keep things afloat until I get my guy. And quite frankly, we were able to get our guy the same offseason. Dwayne Haskins is everything that we need. I don't see a scenario where Dwayne fails unless it's not his fault. We have a great defense. We have a quick decision-making, run-heavy offense that's going to allow him to not be thrown into harm's way even if he's the starter in week 1. I think that the biggest variable of Haskins' rookie season will be based on the performance of our interior offensive linemen, though. If we can't hold up on the inside, that's going to put on full display Dwayne's biggest weaknesses. His accuracy is spotty when he has to get the ball up quicker than expected. Times where he can't get his feet squared up. He's solid throwing on the run, and he's also solid standing in the pocket, but he really needs to clean up that in-between area where he kind of just has to get the ball out. I am going to tell you now, though, none of that scares me. I believe in our offensive line. Definitely, if our offensive line can stay healthy, I genuinely believe that they're one of the top offensive lines in football. So you pair that with the 2 draft picks that we got, now we have depth. Now we really have a chance to hold up throughout a whole season on the offensive line. With our second pick, we ended up going with Montez Sweat. Now this wasn't a pick that we had. We traded this year's second round pick and next year's second round pick, and we traded back up to the 26th pick to take Montez Sweat. Now I'm just gonna say off the bat, I love this pick. In all honesty, I don't even really need to say too much. Over 10 sacks each of the past 2 seasons for Mississippi State, and he's playing in the SEC, toughest conference in all of college football. We had a glaring hole at outside linebacker after Preston Smith left. You know, people were talking about Ryan Anderson starting. I mean, you even have people saying Casanova McKinley. I'm not really sure how I feel about all that, but we definitely patched that hole. Preston left, and we ended up giving 2 second-round picks, like I said, to get back in the first round and take him. A 6'6", 260-pound linebacker that's going to be running a 4.41. I mean, damn. That speed on the edge for us is going to be huge. Obviously, he's a solid pass rusher, but he is going to need to be able to develop more techniques to get back in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to widen his arsenal of moves. But outside of Josh Allen, he was my favorite edge rusher in the draft, and this is someone that I was putting in mock drafts in the top 10 every single time I was making one. So for him to fall and be able to get him at 26, I mean, that's going to be huge for us. Now, I do understand that he has a heart condition or whatever, but they said that it's minor and it's something that didn't affect him at all, didn't even cause him to take a second step when he was at Mississippi State. So I'm going to have good faith in that and also believe that it's not something that's going to affect him at this level. And also, there's a possibility that it was a misdiagnosis. So until I find out that that's for sure, I'm going to treat this like it is the right diagnosis. But there's a lot more upside to this pick than could possibly go wrong. And even if he can't play a single down, this pick was well worth it, and I will say that. So I'm going to talk about Terry McLaurin, but after that, you know, the picks are going to go like out of sort. I'm not really going to talk about them in the order that they happened, because a couple of guys, like, well, I want to group together and talk about them together. So let's go ahead and get into Terry. So just straight up, I love everything about this pick. You get the #1 special teams player in the whole draft on most teams' board. You get a good route runner that's speedy. He's obviously a wide receiver, and someone that's going to come in and be a leader from day one. And you get that all in the very same pick by picking one person. And I haven't even gotten to my favorite part. I mean, this kid loves to block. If you look at his Twitter page, his pinned tweet is him blocking on a bubble screen. And his exact words, well, I don't know if they're exact, but he said something along the lines of, he cares more about that than scoring touchdowns. That says a whole lot. Now, you've seen the videos of him pumping up his team at Ohio State, being the leader in the locker room and everything like that. And even our coaches, someone was asked someone was asked what they were most excited about with Terry, and their answer was his leadership. And I say the same. On and off the field, this is a guy that's going to have an impact the moment that he walks through the doors. And that's exactly what we need in DC. Now, this Bryce Love pick I really like, and I think I'm in a minority of how much I like this pick, but I really like it. This is a player that was expected to be a top 15 pick possibly in this draft. If you asked somebody 365 days ago, that's probably what they would have said. Obviously, due to the injury that he had, it caused a drop off in his statistics, and he might even start the next year, which is this season coming up, on the PUP list. But the talent is there, and I'm all in on him. Chris Thompson, he's in a contract year, and he finds himself hurt a lot. And we all know Adrian Peterson is getting up there in age. You have no urgency to play him now, so he's going to have the time to be able to get back 100%, get healthy, you know what I'm saying, get on some fresh feet before he even has to take another hit. I'm all in on this one, but Chris Thompson is great at pass blocking, so if he wants to see any type of chance of getting on the field, he's going to have to show in training camp and in practices that he's going to be a willing blocker and he's ready to step up and make those blocks on plays where he's not going out and running a route. If he wants to be the third down back and he wants to take Chris Thompson's spot, that's what's going to have to happen. Chris Thompson is in a contract year. We don't know what's going to happen with that. And like I said before, he gets hurt a lot. So this is a spot where he might end up being the perfect pairing with Darius Geis in our backfield for the future years to come. So like I said, I have a couple picks that I kind of want to push together. So I'm going to start off with Wes Martin and Ross Pierschbacher. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right. But I mean, these picks are really easy to explain. For the past 2 years, we've ended the season with at least 20 players on IR in each of the past 2 seasons. So what that means, especially with a lot of those guys being offensive linemen, Wes is a left guard. Ross played some left guard, but last year he started at center at Alabama. But during the pre-draft workouts, they exclusively worked him out at guard. So all that means is that you get 2 extra guys to shore up the interior of your offensive line. They're going to have depth. I mean, these some big bearded country white boys. I mean, how much better can you get? All pro. Mark it down now. Nah, but in all seriousness though, these are 2 guys that are going to be able to come in, compete for their spot. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have time to develop because they're not going to be tossed into the starting lineup when they're not ready for it or anything like that. I just really support these picks. And even with the scenario Wes Martin in the 4th round, a lot of people felt like you could have got him later. But if this is a guy that you believe in, you think that he can become any type of a starter or anything like that when you're in the 4th round, you go and take him. And so that's why I support these picks. I also support the Ross pick because we needed to get more insurance on the offensive line. Every year we end up taking guys off of their couch and starting them that following Sunday. We cannot do that again this year. That's not a formula of success, and it's part of the reason why last 2 seasons we start off okay, and then the end of the season is just a train wreck for us. Now, Kelvin Harmon, I really like. Oh man, I'm so excited to see this kid play, man. Possibly the steal of the draft. He had the single highest passer rating when targeted of any draft eligible wide receiver. In his own words, the 50-50 balls are 90-10 when you throw it to him. He could get a little faster and sharpen up his route running. Some people have a little bit of a pet peeve with him catching the ball too much with his body rather than his hands. I don't see that nowhere near as big of a problem as other people do. But you don't find talent like this in the 6th round. Analysts were joking around during the draft coverage and everything, and they're asking like, yo, did he do something that we don't know about? it was pretty cool to see Redskins Twitter like all over throughout the draft day, talking about him, asking for him in the 3rd, 4th. Then when it got to day 3, you know what I'm saying, everyone's fiending in the 5th, 6th, 7th. Everyone was going crazy for him, that we finally get him in the 6th round. With all that being said, the potential that he does have, the ability to just go up there and get the ball out the air, I mean, it all just makes it really mind-boggling to think he was there with the 6th round pick. All right, and so I'm finally gonna just like fly through these last couple ones, just to be honest. So Jimmy Moreland, this one is like hands down the most intriguing pick of the draft for me. He's a 5'10", 176-pound defensive back from James Madison University. He had 18 college interceptions and 6 pick sixes. So obviously he had 2 big questions. Okay, those questions are: is his 176-pound body frame going to hold up in the NFL? You know, is he going to bulk up? How is that going to work? And then also, if he was playing at James Madison, what type of competition was he playing against? How bad were the quarterbacks that he was playing against? And how bad were the wide receivers he were lining up against? We don't know that. We don't know how it's going to transfer. That's why he was a 7th round pick. But damn it, I'm glad he was my 7th round pick. Now the last 2 guys to talk about are obviously Cole Holcomb and Jordan Brailford. So with Cole Holcomb, you know, this is a highly productive inside linebacker. He's good in coverage and he can fly sideline to sideline, but he definitely has a lot of room to grow. But he will add depth at the inside linebacker position. He has potential, and I do believe in that potential. But like I said before, there's a reason why these guys are drafted late. I think he was the 2nd pick in the 5th round for us. You know, he's a solid player. He's gonna provide a little bit of extra depth, and he's someone that I would trust if we have to end up playing him. With Jordan Brailford, it's the same exact scenario. Highly productive player in college at Oklahoma State. He adds immediate depth on the edge for us. He's a great scheme fit, like literally picture perfect. So that's why I like it. But once again, he was the last pick in the draft for us. He was that for a reason. He was the pick before Mr. Irrelevant. So let's keep that in mind, and let's allow this guy to go in training camp and work and prove himself, rather than having the same expectations for him as you do for Montez Sweat. So with all that being said, man, let me know what you guys think of our draft in the comment section below. Like I said before, man, I mean, I've never been this optimistic and this happy about the moves that we made in the draft, or the players that we've gotten, or anything of that nature. I mean, this offseason we picked up Landon Collins, which is someone that I considered in my top 5 of any player in the league. So for me personally, to have someone like that come to my team, and then the success that we had in the draft, I mean, I'm really just looking up from what we had last year. And then you got guys like Reuben Foster and Darius Geis that were already on the team at the end of last season, but they just didn't get the chance to play. So if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe, leave a huge like, support, whatever you want to do, man. Give it all to Trey MB, because as you saw, man, the things in the background that you've seen the whole video, it's all been made by him. So shout out to him, follow him, subscribe to him, subscribe to me too. And like I said, man, it's Sarks or Haskins for the win if you follow me on Twitter. And I'm out, man. Peace.